Hello and welcome to another installment of AA Computers and Technology. Today we're going to see if a solid-state drive paired with a Pentium 4 processor yields any sort of performance increase compared to a traditional hard drive. Here in front of me I have a King Spec solid-state drive. This is a 16GB SATA 3 solid-state drive that I got off Amazon for $20. I actually just did a review on this solid-state drive a few moments ago, and now I'm going to perform this experiment because I'm actually going to put this in my Pentium 4 machine to improve the performance, and I want to really see if the solid state drive makes any sort of difference. So I have the solid state drive right here, and of course the traditional IDE hard drive rotating at I believe 7,200 RPM is inside my computer case right there. I went ahead and took the effort to benchmark both hard drives, and as you can see, I'm actually running Linux right now. Xubuntu, which is based off Ubuntu but without the Unity junk, which I don't like dealing with. I'm actually using Wine to run Crystal Disk, the benchmarking software, but it appears we have encountered some errors because those readings are definitely wrong. The sequential read and write speeds look right. That's about where the hard drive should be, but everything below that looks a bit sketchy. I don't trust these down here, so we're just going to be looking at the sequential read and write speeds of the two drives. And over here I actually have my video up that I took. These are the sequential read and write speeds of the solid state drive. So as you can see, there should be a significant performance increase when we add in the solid state drive, but will there be? And that's exactly what I'm going to test. So I'm going to boot this computer up again. We'll time how long it takes to boot up. We'll run a couple programs, see how long they take to open and how they perform. And then I'm going to clone this hard drive and put it on the solid state drive. And then we will do the exact same thing with the solid state drive. So let's get started. Before we get started, you're probably going to want to check out my system specifications. So here they are. I have a Intel Pentium 4 single-core processor with hyperthreading running at 2.6 GHz. I have 2 GB of RAM running at 400 MHz, overclocked obviously because this is DDR333. I think this is SD RAM. I could be wrong. And then I also have, of course, the IDE hard drive rotating at 7,200 RPM. And really, I think that's really all that matters for this. I'm using a really early version of SATA, probably version 1, so that might be that might hold back the drive just a little bit, but I'm not too worried about it. And I'm trying to think of anything else you guys should know, and I can't right now, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I have my timer out, and we are going to time how long it takes to get to the login screen with the traditional IDE hard drive. Now, when I push the power button, I'm also going to start the timer. And the timer is going. And of course, when the login screen pops up, I'll stop the timer. There yet? Almost there. Oh! And we are here. Alright. So it actually popped up over there. Had you facing the wrong monitor. But my timer says 48 seconds, but it took a second for the timer to actually stop. So in total, it took about 45 seconds to get to the login screen using the traditional hard drive. Next, I'm going to time how long it takes to get to the desktop. So I'm going to reset the timer. I hate this phone. There we go. I'm going to log in. And when I hit enter, I'm going to start the timer. And then the desktop actually pops up on this monitor. Isn't that confusing? So the way I am determining this is when the wallpaper comes up and all the icons pop up, that's when the desktop has completely loaded, and that's when I will stop the timer. Almost there. Oh! Alright. So in total, 23 seconds. Not too bad. So next, let's go ahead and start off by opening up some applications. The application that I use most is Chromium, so that's what we will open up here. When I click the icon, I'm going to start the timer. We're at 5 seconds, 6 seconds, and counting. Oh, came up on the other screen, and that is good. So I'm not going to count how long it takes for Google to load, not including that. But in all, for Chrome to come up, it took about, we'll just say 15 seconds to be safe. 15 seconds. So in total, I think I'm going to go ahead and try 3 applications out, and then we will throw in the solid state drive. So next, I'm going to open up LibreOffice Writer after I reset my timer, which is being very finicky right now. Alright, opening it now. And of course it's on the other screen. Why? Why do you do this to me? And alright, so that took about 7 seconds. We'll call that 7 seconds. I know I didn't show you guys the timer. Well, it was 7 seconds. Just take my word. What else? Last but not least, why not? Let's go ahead and try Firefox because I have it installed as well. Alright, starting it now. Which monitor will it show up on? Okay, this one. And that as well took about 7 seconds. Alright, so I'm fed up with this. Now it's time to pop open the desktop computer and clone the hard drives, and then we can try out this King Spec solid state drive, which I really haven't used yet, so this will be interesting. So I finally finished transferring all my files to this 32GB flash drive, so I don't have to worry about space anymore. Everything should fit on this King Spec solid state drive. I also have my Molex to SATA adapter right here because my power supply does not have a SATA plug on it, so I just bought an adapter for $3, no big deal. And then I had to dig out my 2.5 to 3.5 inch bracket, which doesn't fit this drive for some reason. There aren't actually any, well, there are holes in the bottom of the drive, but they don't have threads, so I can't put screws through them, so I can't screw the drive onto the bracket, which is kind of a pain. So I have like one screw holding it in place. Hopefully that holds. And I am ready to go ahead and mount this thing in and transfer all the files I need to. So this is going to be fun. So if anyone's curious, this is the inside of the PC that we're going to be placing the solid state drive in. And right there to the bottom, you can see the IDE hard drive all the way in the bottom caddy right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take that one out. Clone it with Clonezilla, which I have laying around somewhere, and then we can start benching, or not benching, but seeing the results of the solid state drive. So now all I have to do is store everything back together, and then we can begin running some tests on this. I'm really excited to see what kind of results we get from this. So it is actually the next day. I went to bed last night because it was like 1 o'clock in the morning by the time I got everything onto the solid state drive. So I just decided to call it the night, and then I got up this morning and we are going to start filming again. So the operating system has been transferred to the solid state drive and everything is ready to go at this point. I still have yet to put my computer back together because I'm just lazy and I don't feel like doing that right now. But I really want to see what kind of times we get. So I'm going to go ahead and get my timer out, and then we can fire the computer up and see what difference the solid state drive makes. First, we're going to start off with boot time as we did last time. So when I push the power button to the computer, I'm going to start the timer. After I get the camera in position, that looks good. And And we are starting now. And how's the focus look on this? It looks good. And actually, I believe the login screen came up on this monitor last time, so I'm gonna want to face towards that one. Alright. Timer is stopped. And there was a performance increase. It wasn't much. The original boot time with the traditional hard drive was 45 seconds. The boot time with the solid state drive is 39 seconds, so we shaved about 5 seconds off our boot time. Next, let's time how long it takes to get the desktop up and going. So, when I hit enter to log in, I'm going to start the timer, and we're determining it the same way as we did last time. When all the icons are up, that's when we'll stop the timer. Okay, ready, set, go. And I believe the desktop comes up on this monitor. And stop. Alright, so what was the original time? I actually wrote it down over here. Alright, to get to the desktop, the original time was 23 seconds, so there is a significant improvement this time. It only took us 16 seconds in all to get the desktop fully loaded. Let me see if I can get that focused. There we go, 16 seconds. And as you can see, I actually cleaned up the desktop a little bit because I had to transfer all those files to a flash drive because the solid state drive was too small, so I had to move some files over to storage. But yeah, significant performance increase there. I really want to see how much faster applications run with the solid state drive, so let's go ahead and do that. The first one we opened before, I believe, was Chromium, so when I click on the icon, I'll go ahead and start the timer. It should pop up on this monitor this time, yep. And timer is stopped. So in all, that took, wow, there is a significant performance increase again. This time, it took 8 seconds, if you can see that. Let me focus it again. Alright, so 8 seconds this time with the solid state drive. With the hard drive, it took 15 seconds. So we cut off a lot of time. And I have to change the focus again. Next, let's go ahead and open up LibreOffice. And even using this system right now feels a lot more responsive, which is nice. LibreOffice, where are you? Office. LibreOffice Writer, that's what we opened up last time, so I'll reset the timer. And then when I click the icon, I will hit the start button. Alright, timer started. Timer stopped. Wow, that was really fast. So that time, with the solid state drive, it took 3 seconds to open up LibreOffice Writer. Last time, it took 7 seconds. Performance increase again. So we can see a trend here that the solid state drive is indeed increasing the performance of the system. And then last but not least, we are going to go ahead and open Firefox. Find it, Internet, Firefox web browser, and when I click the icon, I will start the timer. Bang. 3 seconds. Well, almost 4 seconds. 3.8 seconds. But from last time, another performance increase. Wow, what a surprise. Last time it took 7 seconds. This time it took 3.8 seconds. So, obvious performance increase there. All the applications that we have tested so far have performed a lot better, so I guess we can conclude that the solid state drive is indeed making a difference. So at this point, I think we can all conclude that the solid state drive makes a difference, and that pairing a solid state drive with a Pentium 4 potentially has Well, many benefits, as you just saw. The programs open faster, the computer boots up faster, and then just using the system all around, it just feels more speedy. So, really adding the solid state drive is a great upgrade, especially since this solid state drive that I got, this King spec 16 gigabyte solid state drive, was under $20. So, definitely a great upgrade for this old Pentium 4 computer.